Connor Duffy with that report. Well, it may sound strange to hear of a Greens MP standing up for professional shooters, but that's what's happening in New South Wales, where new laws came into effect today that give weekend hunters the right to kill feral deer. There are thousands of deer. They're running wild south of Sydney and wrecking bushland, farms and gardens. So far, they've been controlled by professional shooters. But the change in the law means that amateur hunters will now have the right to shoot them as well. The farmers don't like it, environmentalists don't like it, nor of course do the professional shooters. Adam Harvey reports.
On the fringe of one of New South Wales' biggest cities, a growing problem has reared its head. Thousands of feral deer. They're voracious feeders and a pest for locals.
Well, you can see it looks like the trees have been pruned about halfway up. You can see a couple of places where the bark has been stripped back. All the ground-based plants have been eaten down to the roots.
They're more than a nuisance for farmers. They threaten their livelihood.
The deers let me out, and what they don't eat out, they wreck the fences. You just can't keep a fence on it. Unless you put one of those up here that costs you $60 a metre.
Grazier Mick Porter replaced his wooden fence for a deer-proof version. It cost him $75,000. But in the end, the deer won. Mick Porter sold his last dairy cows 6 months ago. The fence now guards his horses' feed from the deer herd.
Oh, they weren't so bad until about 10 years ago. And then we got those fires in the national park, and we just seemed to be more and more of them. And they just took over. I've had a few good shooters shooting them, but they just can't keep up.
For the past 18 months, local authorities have tried a new approach.
Okay guys, so tonight we're operating on a number of properties.
Instead of leaving it up to landowners, they've hired a team of professional shooters. They operate at night with low-light equipment.
Stop there, stop there. Quick look. Which way, Junior? Oh, mister, can you believe it?
So far, Michael Kinez and his team have killed more than 500 deer, but he's worried that the new laws that came into effect today will destroy his livelihood.
It is very frustrating, particularly when a landholder has every right to shoot a deer. But if he hasn't got the ability to do it, he can't engage a contractor to do the work for him. Okay, Lloydie, we're ready to go when you are, mate.
The laws were introduced by the New South Wales government to appease the hunting lobby. It means professional shooters will now be governed by a pro-hunting group called the Game Council of New South Wales. And there'll be new restrictions on what the shooters can do.
We can't use our night vision, we can't use spotlights, we can't shoot off the back of a ute, off a moving vehicle. The only thing I could think of was that there's a lobby out there that wants to preserve deer as a hunting game animal.
The program's partly funded by local and state government. Its spokesman is Daniel Shaw.
We found out early in the piece and tried to raise some concerns.
Oh, mate, it was right there.
At the stage that we got response, it was too late. It had already passed both houses of parliament.
Yeah.
The professional deer shooting program has an unlikely backer, Greens MP David Shoebridge.
You see the damage down through here?
Just all the
broken small saplings.
And this is all borders onto the national park, and
This is all national parks.
He's on board because of the damage feral deer are doing to native bushland.
Don't go too
And he's
far.
highly sceptical about the new rules.
Look at this, where they've dug up the... There's an existing professionally run program with high ethical and high humane standards, and it's been derailed solely so that the amateur weekend hunters can have more deer to kill. I mean, this isn't at all about reducing feral deer. This is about managing the herd for the weekend hunters that can have fun.
In a statement, the Game Council says it supports the deer culling program and says amateur hunters play an important role in controlling deer. Residents who live near the bush sometimes have to deal with the aftermath of the sporting hunters.
The first thing that happened is we found a dead deer with an arrow in its body on our property in the middle of winter, and couldn't find anybody locally to claim it. And again, I was told by council I had to take care of it myself, so I did.
Michael Kinez's team don't leave behind wounded animals, and they clean up after themselves.
We just aim for headshots only. We don't do any chest shooting and so on. It's a headshot only, and if we can't get the shot off, it's unsafe, we won't.
The fact that they're not hunting for fun, they're engaged in a professional clinical action with high protections for the animals that they're hunting. They're the kind of people you want engaged in reducing feral pests, not the weekend warriors with none of those controls.
The deer carcasses don't end up as hazardous waste. They're given to zoos as feed for lions and tigers.
Okay, after 3. 1, 2, 3.
Jerry Day doesn't want the program to end. Michael Kinez has shot 9 deer from his property.
It's been very effective, especially over the past few months. And there's definitely been a substantial impact on the amount of deer seen on the road at night.
We think we're making headway until one day you look out the back and there's 50 running past. So I think they breed quicker than rabbits.